Within 1 minute we'll start. वीडियो ऑन कर लेना. Am I audible? Am I audible? Message कर. Just drop a message because I have muted. Okay. Those who can turn on their video, please do. I want to speak to myself. अरे those who can turn on their videos, turn on. Online के side effects हैं. Okay, so good evening everyone. Welcome to this session for May 2024. And you have appeared in the films, and I hope all of you are expecting that you are going to clear the prelims. So now the time has come for the mains, and this year mains, as you know, the time is less. But I would say, although time is less, but we have the sufficient time to clear the exam. Still, we have the sufficient time to clear the exam, but this year we do not have the liberty to waste the time. And those who are going to waste the time, they are going to pay it. They are going to pay heavy cost for that, right? And those who are going to utilize the remaining time effectively, they'll clear the exam. And as you know, oh, all three are from Baramati. बारामती वालों में देखो कितना एटिकेट है. वीडियो ऑन कर लेते हैं. गुड गुड. ओके. What is required to clear the wins? Everyone must be having a goal, topper stock and all. मास थोड़ा सा वापस आते हैं. Let's come back from the topper stock. Come back to the interview. From the interview, let's come back. Let's start from the reverse direction. So the means let's start from the reverse direction. Reverse direction is on the 20th of September. You are going to write your essay. On 20th of September, you are going to write for 3 hours. And when you are going to write for 3 hours, next day you are going to write for 6 hours, and the next day you are going to write for another 6 hours. Are you ready for that? Prelims is a 1 day game. 2 hour plus 2 hour. But means 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. This is the game of means. Despite preparing very well, despite having all the notes, despite all the answer writing, this, that, if you cannot sit for that long hour, and if you are expecting to get 450 plus marks in GS, 150 in essay, 300 in optional, it's not possible. So that becomes a major challenge. So in this entire time, you are supposed to learn how to sit for the long run. And you are not going to just sit and talking about the politics or talking about other things. Your brain has to be active. And that active brain requires some of the things. And on the 20th of September, when you are going to write 3 hour essay test, essay exam, and then GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and all, what other thing you require? You require short notes. If you do not have the short notes, it is impossible to recollect all the information, right? So you are supposed to have your notes ready by the month of August. It is not that you are going to prepare your notes on 10th or 11th of September. That is not going to help. Some do try this. Although we have wasted the time, but now let's do it. Third thing is you should be ready to write the exam so for that you must have practiced sufficient test, sample and test, answer writing, this and that. Another fourth thing is confidence. That thought, I wish I could have prepared well in the next attempt. That cute thought, which every time comes in the prelims, in the means, that in the next attempt, I will start from day one. And today we are sitting at day five. Prelims was on 16. So on this day fifth, you have to decide that on in the month of September, I will not say this thing. Next attempt, I will start early. Next attempt, I will start from day one and day two and day three. Don't do it. Got it? So in the reverse direction, if we see the exam, if we see the process, I have told you that you are supposed to write the long hours. For that, your brain should be very much active. And now let's come back to this time on 21st of uh, June. On 21st of June, now what to do? So that on 20th of September, we should be comfortable. Number one thing is there is a saying, if you don't use it, then you lose it. Recently, you have been preparing for the prelims. Your sitting hours were good. Your concentration level was good. If you delay the process of entering into mains preparation by just one more week, then after one more week, it will take effort for you to sit 7, 8, 9 hours to study. It will take effort for your brain to read the things. So, number one thing is immediately start your preparation and how to enter into the action mode. Now, you must be seeing many videos. Even after my session, you will watch some other videos here and there. This one thing which you have to take from me, whatever good you will get from this session, immediately implement. Are you getting it? We do not implement the things. What is the problem with the self-help books? Nothing. People just don't use it, although all are not good. When you watch a strategy session, when you get some good points, you become very high that yes, I will do it, I will do it. But unless you enter into action mode, those things will be gone. And how to enter into the action mode? Number one thing, have the printout of the syllabus. Very basic thing. And I'm sure every one of you is not having the printout of the syllabus. Sir, वो phone में पड़ा है. There, it's in my laptop. It's in my library. No, syllabus. Printout of the syllabus. I will come to that. That why that is important. Second thing is PYQs. At least last 3, 4 year PYQs. Printout should be with you. You should know what is the limit of this mains. Mains is altogether a different game and I would say very interesting game. Prelims थोड़ा सा risky है. Prelims is a risky game. One or two question and you are gone. One or two facts. If you forget, then there is a possibility that you will mark the question incorrect. Not in mains. Even if you forget some articles, it is fine. Even there are toppers who quoted some wrong articles. They clear. But I'm not saying that you do it, but I'm just telling you there is a difference between prelims and mains. So second is PYQ, third is notes. Understand this thing. There is a temptation in a human being. Every human suffer from this temptation of doing more, picking big books. On the climate change itself, someone is picking a thick book. Emotional intelligence, they are picking the book of the author. That temptation has to stop. You have to kill that temptation. Pick one relevant, good small notes. Relevant is important because some might sell you 40 pages notes for the entire month. People can sell anything nowadays, right? But that temptation of doing more and more and more, I will write 30 tests, 40 tests, I will make such and such notes, do this, do that. No. That temptation has to die if you want to clear in this attempt, and if you don't wish to become a mentor. If you want to become a mentor or a faculty in a coaching, then read some big books. This temptation has to die, and everyone suffers from it. Even I suffer from. Pick one relevant notes, good notes, less pages. Whatever is left, you can cover. No, I would not say that these small notes will be sufficient. Even SNP notes we have, our notes are good. I must say we have a very good notes, but some topics might not be there. Those things can be covered. To cover that, you do not need to pick an entire book. To cover that, you are not supposed to go to another coaching entire course. First, pick one notes, then go for topic wise. You might have to look for different topics. Some new emerging topics might come to you. Some new emerging themes might come to you. In that sense, have that space. Am I clear till now? So this temptation has to. Then after doing that, missing things can be covered. I will tell. Now, how to move? Everyone is must be having a goal, 450 or 470 or 500. Or those who have not appeared in the news, they might be thinking कि 1000 में से 1000 क्यों नहीं आता है? I will get it. ठीक है ना? So those goals of marks is now you have to start paper wise. Paper wise is the best thing which you can do. Either you can pick GS4 or GS1. And why I'm saying GS1 or GS4? Because abhi till pre result is out. Some might be in doubt. Recently, you have covered GS1, and those who have not appeared in the mains, let me tell you, mains does not mean when I ask you, have you done anything for the mains? Answer: I have done history, geography, and economy. No. Whenever you talk about the mains, you talk about the mains syllabus topics: ethics, internal security, IR, governance, society. Are you done with that? You might not have done it. And those who have done it earlier, this big gap of 3, 4, 5 months, now you have to pick it. So paper wise is the best. Either you can pick GS1 or you can pick GS4. After picking any paper, one note, just one notes from any good coaching is sufficient, or whatever notes you have used for the history, geography, for the prelims, the same can be used. Then answer writing. Immediately answer writing. Third is Topaz copy. Nowadays, everyone goes through the Topaz copies in your laptop or in your system per paper. Maximum two topper copy should be there. That is the max. 20 topper copy analysis you are not supposed to do. Then you will become confused. And eventually you will not be able to do it. And then finish this entire cycle and move on to the next. Let's say GS4. One book, if you have read any good book, or one notes, if you have done any good notes, or if you have not done, then pick a good note. You can choose as a companion. Answer writing. Answer writing वही है कि day one से करें कि नहीं. I would say you can take some time to enter in that process. Which toppers copy to pick? Which toppers copy to pick? Most of the candidates go for rank one. Every time they go for rank one. I would say pick that topper who write similar to you. Rule number one. Rule number two, pick that topper whose writing skills you can easily copy. If I'm seeing a copy of a topper and I'm quite comfortable in writing in, let us say, paragraphs, long paragraphs. But if I'm seeing rank one copy and rank one is 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I will not pick that topper copy. Even if he is rank one, he or she is rank one. This is how you utilize the topper's copy. In the topper's copy, those who have appeared in mains earlier, you might say, "Ki, I'm not gaining anything new from the topper's copy. Nothing I'm gaining. Zero. Why is that? Because you might be picking the topper's copy from the month of June. Always pick the topper's copy from the month of August. Tomorrow, if you will start writing the test, your copy will be the worst. And you are not going to write the same in the mains. So always check the date from the month of August because similar to that particular topper will write in the real mains. If you are picking a topper copy who have appeared in some test series in the month of January, the thing which he wrote or she wrote in the month of January, the same thing he or she, in the same style, he will not write in the month of September. It's a 9 month gap. In the 9 months, everyone improved. So that is thing number. That is third thing, August month, and then done the pages. You might find that particular and just don't run after rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There might be some very good copies of rank 100, rank 120, rank 130. So just stop this temptation of only top 5 ranks. Some good copies you might find from other toppers. And then practice of two things. Initially, from tomorrow, you may not write some answer in a particular test or in a coaching, but PYQs you have to scan and PYQs you have to see. And PYQ analysis we provide as an MP provided. We have done it last year too. It was good. If you want to find, if you can find somewhere else, go for it. PYQ does not mean providing the model answer. PYQ means analysis. And if someone can done that analysis in a good manner, only then you can get the benefit of that. Then in a weekly basis, when you are making a plan, suppose those who have appeared in mains earlier, for you, 1 week is sufficient to finish ethics. If you are going to stretch 15 or 20 days, itna time nahi, you can do it. Those who are going to start now, 15 days is sufficient. Initially, your speed might be slow, but that is not a new normal. So don't panic in the beginning that I'm not able to write answer, I'm not able to finish the syllabus. That is not a new normal. With that time, your speed will improve. Once you will finish this entire cycle for one paper, in the next paper you will take lesser time, and subsequently you will take lesser time. So in this entire week of Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Friday we plan. That is the ideal way of planning. Monday to Friday we plan. Saturday we write. We sit for the longer time. In MP will sit for longer time. Either we'll write essay or we'll do some answer writing or anything else. So this longer sitting every Saturday, you have to inculcate. Saturdays you keep free. Sundays you keep free. There's a possibility on the Sunday, whatever is left from Monday to Saturday, you might do. Or if you want to chill, no issue. It is better to take a 1 day break in an entire week than taking the entire week break because you have not taken 1 day break. You are not robots, right? Then another thing is you please inculcate reading newspaper in your schedule every day. Every news is not important. Everything in the newspaper is not important. The only thing which is important is which is mentioned in the syllabus or PY, which is mentioned in the syllabus or PYQs, and make it a habit of making synopsis of the things. This method is, I will elaborate on that after a few minutes. In this method, you are supposed to make a synopsis of the entire editorial, right? And you have to write it on the paper. Don't make it on digital apps. That is not going to help. You write with a pen and you make a synopsis of the entire editorial, or you pick some news from the newspaper, or you make a synopsis of that. So, Monday to Friday, ideally, first shift of your day, that has to be, you make a point that I will call it a action mode slot. Action mode means I will do my work in that slot. I will not keep on dreaming and thinking and thinking and thinking. I will do this, I will do this, do that, and then you are watching some another strategy videos. You start calling it as action mode slot. You know exactly that those 4 hours you will study, and after that you might look for some other help videos or anything else. So that 4 hour you are supposed to do the toughest thing which is there for you as of now. Those who have not done anything for the mains, optional has to be your top priority. And ethics. Those who think that ethics is very simple, ask the senior players. Initially, it is not simple. Only once you finish it, then it becomes very simple. And even for some, it never becomes simple. Ethics is theory plus practice. And in the practice, you have to practice a lot to reach to that level. And I'll come to that. So, initially, uh, morning 4 hour optional. Those who are comfortable with optional, they can devote that time for other GS paper. Those who have appeared in the mains, they can check their score. They might have scored very poor marks in GS1 or GS2 or GS3, whatever. You make it a priority. I will finish that. You divide the entire paper. For example, if I'm picking GS1 for the next week, I might go for geography because from the geography and environmental part, they ask around 100 marks, roughly. Urban governance and all, everything. If we check, around 100, 80 to 100 marks. And that's a big chunk. And generally, people just leave geography. They run after society so much, they leave geography. History, they read whatever they have done for the books. But I might pick geography as my first topic for the next week. I might pick my optional paper too, right? So in the morning time, I'll do option. Then in after that, once I'm done with that process, after that, I'll make a synopsis from the newspaper. Some light task I will pick. And then in the last shift, I will do job. That way I might divide. Suppose if I'm picking ethics, I will not start ethics with the case study. I'll start with the theory. Because I know those who are good in theory, they can do good in cases. And some candidates just do study in the entire ethics and they don't score very good marks. So Monday to Friday, I'll pick the syllabus, I'll pick the PYQ. I know the source, I just do it. Or if I have mentor support like SMB provide, then I'll ask the mentor to make a schedule so that there has to be a pressure on me, because unless we are pressurized to do the things, we never do the things. ठीक है ना, फिर एंड में वही सब होता है. So I'll do it. After doing this entire Monday to Friday, Saturday I'll sit and write. मतलब every Saturday तो I'll write for 2 to 3 hours. Come what? Because I have studied from Monday to Friday. That thought that just 2 more days, 3 more days, 4 more days, it's a non-stop thinking. It will never stop. Either you force yourself or you ask your mentor or anyone that if I don't write, remove me from the board. That kind of commitment is required from yourself. Only then you will write. And initially, everyone write in a average manner. Some write in a worst manner. There's no problem with that. But starting this process is very important. Unless you start, nothing is going to happen. Right? So deliberate practice on Saturday. Then I will try to do some answer writing every day. This synopsis thing, 30 minutes, I will do every day. And if I have some answer writing of GS or optional, I will do it. On Sundays, I will, like, I'm someone who need, who believe in taking a break, which helps the body and mind to give some space. Now, what is this synopsis thing? Okay, and why it is required? Okay, one thing you write up. Try to remember the entire information in points. Entire means entire topicals. And second thing is learn to expand from the points. So task number one is try to remember everything in points. PSIR, Karl Marx. In your head, 5 points should be there. Karl Marx said this, finished. That's it. Philosophy, Buddha, these are the important points. This, finished. Sociology, gender, gender, these are the points. Every information has to be remembered in the points. And you should have some pointers. And then you learn to expand that. If you don't remember information in points, and if you are someone who are going to try to remember the things in paragraph because it's means, you will never be able to recall those paragraphs. You will always be able to recall the points. And from the points you expand the things. These were the things. Are you getting it? Entire information. Environment Protection Act. UPSC will ask in mains. How many points do you have in your mind? Those who are going to write mains for the first or second time. UPSC asks very simple question on CAG. People don't even remember the article mentioned under the constitution on CAG. And these candidates, you might say that how can someone forget this? Because after prelims, we throw Lakshmikant out of the room. Attorney General question, those who have appeared in that means, how many of you were able to remember that article? Attorney General points. That kind of challenges come when you try to remember information in paragraphs. So try to remember everything in points. Every topic of the syllabus should be there in point one. These were the 5 points. And then you learn to expand. And once you learn to expand, then your life is easy. That is how you get the best marks. And that is how someone get 450 with less knowledge comparative to someone who is getting 400. Someone is getting 400 with less knowledge than someone who has more knowledge but getting only 350 marks. It's not a game of having more knowledge. It is the game of having to the point points on particular topic mentioned under the syllabus. Heat wave. Recently, we are seeing heat wave. UPSC will ask question on heat wave. Do you have the points in your mind? Then you will write one key baat. The heat wave is a disaster which is affecting many parts of the world, including India. India is most affected. And then you will write these most, very, and such points. And then UPSC will ask NDMA guidelines on heat wave. And then you might remember some speeches given by some politicians, or you might have heard something on the podcast and you will write that. आजकल के बच्चे पॉडकास्ट भी तो बहुत देखने लग गए हैं ना काम बहुत है ना जीवन में दिस इज वन लाइफ है ना पॉडकास्ट में वेस्ट मत कर देना सो माय पॉइंट इज हीट वेव दीज आर द पॉइंटर्स NDMA guidelines, these are the pointers. In the point form, it is easy for you to remember. And then we learn to explain. So this method is called synopsis method. Synopsis method is whatever editorial which is relevant from the syllabus point of view. Number one is syllabus. Second is PYQs, as I have said. And then you read some editorial linked with that. And then you write the synopsis of that entire editorial under in 100 to 200 words, maximum 250 words, 15 marker types. Even if you write one single page, it is fine. But you please make it a habit that every day I will write one page on one editorial. You might not be having some good points, to the point things, relevant points, analysis. It's fine. You learn this habit. Yesterday on the newspaper, in the newspaper, The Hindu, there were four editorials on refugee because it was a world refugee day. Has anyone seen that? अभी तो चिल मारने का टाइम है क्यों पढ़ना है द हिंदू ठीक है but I have read that refugee once you see this word that is there in the PYQs. Why I said PYQs? Some of the terms you might not find in the syllabus, but UPSC asks the question. Refugee. What is refugee? Anyone has proper definition to that? I doubt anyone has it. And which definition to follow? मन की बात तो ठीक है यार वो तो देखो in the prelims you need exact things. In the mains you can write on anything. Refugees are set of human beings found in Middle East. You can write it. It's on the examiner to give the marks or not. What is the definition of refugees? Even I don't know. But which definition to check? You in the refugee case, what are the things which are coming to my mind? Syria, some countries. We get information. Let me tell you this again why I'm saying collect all the info in points because we get info from the point forms. Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Rohingya, right? So some country. Give me a second, please. Let me say that even the first timer who is going to write means, and you might be thinking here, I don't know this. It will be very difficult. But when you were not appearing in the means, and there was a question on refugee during that time, outside examination hall in your AC room, when you are looking at the question, you are thinking it's a very simple question. Am I right? Refugee, लिखा है. And then you are struggling. So, in the refugee scenario, World Refugee Day, June 20th, there were four editorial. Mr. Shashi Tharoor wrote one editorial on that. On that, he defined everything. What are the laws? What are the issues? What are the challenges for India? What are the challenges for the world? And whenever Shashi Tharoor write, you please read. Whenever Brinda Karat write, you please read. Although they are opposition, but I will tell you that how to use their points. So Shashi Tharoor ji wrote this. And in that, you will find some apps that India is not party to UN Convention on Refugee. In that, you will find that. You are like, okay. There is a one term which you will find non-refoulement. That term means any country where a refugee is seeking asylum, if their life is being threatened in the home country from the country they are coming from, you are not supposed to send them back. So instead of remembering this entire line, just one term is fine. Got it? Then third thing is Shashi Tharoor ji gave some solutions. One or two good points he gave. In the mains, your 70% of the content has to come from the government. Means what are the government policies, what are the government schemes, what are the actions taken by the government. And government, I'm not saying the current, this entire last 75 years. So you will find some acts, some policies for that. And why India is not party to this? Government will justify that. After that, after Shashi Tharoorji, I get to know that some acts are there, some conventions are there. India is not party to that. I'm like, okay. Then next editorial I read of Priyali Sur. Priyali Sur talked about Rohingyas. On the next page, Priyali Sur wrote about Rohingyas. Then Vijeta Singh, this name, whenever you read any IR linked editorial from her, you please read. So she wrote about Tibetan issues. Then SC uh, Chandrasekharan on Sri Lankan Tamil issues. Got it. Now someone might ask, are we supposed to read about all these things for the mains? No, answer is I'm just saying you read the editorial. I make a synopsis on refugee. Now you know, now you have the information of Tibetans, Tamil, Rohingyas, and Shashi Tharoor one entire world wala information, some data and things. And once you are making a synopsis, number one thing is what is the definition of refugees, from where they are coming. What do you understand by them? Refugee crisis. And you are making some pointers. They will not ask any question on Rohingya. They will not ask any question on Tibetan. They will not ask any question on Sri Lankan Tamils. Then what is the point of reading those editorials? Because in the essay, in essay, you might need some anecdotes. Those anecdotes directly can be collected from there. Directly. Some good terms you are supposed to collect, working on the language, which has to be the top priority, those who are going to write the mains, improving the knowledge and working on the language. Non refillment is a term, just one single term is fine. That is why someone asked that, sir, in the essay, I was trying to cover 10 or 12 dimensions. I was able to cover only six. And the other guy who scored 150 marks, he was able to covered 8 to 10 dimensions because he had good vocabulary, he had good command over language. So working on the language is very much important. So from these things only you will collect some good points. And once you have prepared a synopsis, you are done. Don't look at it. Move to the next day. In the next day, in other newspaper, you might find some editorial on heat wave. In the heat wave, you might find some information. Again, heat wave, everyone is feeling, right? Everyone is affected from that. Now, from the heat wave side, again, they will give some anecdotes. You mention it. You make a synopsis of this. What are the guidelines? This and this and this. Okay. When you are making a synopsis, stop this temptation of doing analysis by your own. Let the coachings do it. Because even on a one single topic, refugee, even if you spend 2 days, and once you will find in the monthly magazine the final summary in 2 pages, you will find that they have more points than what I was right. So don't enter into analysis. You just write a synopsis in 1 page. What do you understand by that? And leave the space for the coachings wala to do it. We'll do it for you. We have a team. Right. Once you make it a habit, and when you are putting your thoughts on the refugee, you will find after a week, you will be having some good structured thought. Whenever you will see refugees, you will see that vulnerable section terms should be mentioned. Poverty should be talked about. Gender should be talked about. Failure of the United Nations should be talked about. On the day one, it will not come. On the day 7, 8, or 12, or 20th, it will. When you will write, when you will write a question on heat wave, automatically vulnerable section term will hit in your mind. We all are affected from the heat wave, but who is affected more? Who is the most affected? In Uttar Pradesh, 23 home guard were admitted in a hospital. If I'm not wrong, that is in Mirzapur. 19 died in a span of 3 days, and they are not making news. अभी एक बॉलीवुड का स्टार मर जाता ना, भर जाते सब कंडोलेंस मैसेज. He was saying he was a good man, he was this, he was God. ह्यूमन लाइफ का वैल्यू समझ में आता है क्योंकि वनरेबल सेक्शन इज गोइंग टू बी द मोस्ट अफेक्टेड. 19 died. And what is the worst part? That government is not going to accept them under the heat related debts. And why is that? Because government has to provide compensation. And why to give money? And then you will find some structured thoughts. Vulnerable section, where it is mentioned. Is it in the syllabus? GS1 or GS2? बताओ, बारामती वालों. GS2. Schemes and well parent listen this for that. When I told you in the beginning itself, pick a small notes of the coaching institute. Once you pick a small notes from the coaching institute, this entire topic will be covered for you. And once you will finish that in lesser time, then whenever you will read one report, you can collect those points from that source. This is how you complete your preparation. Am I right? आ रहा है थोड़ा समझ में? Are you getting everyone? So, synopsis method 30 minutes every day you do. Even if, again, let me tell you, even if you will write one page, initially it might look okay. Trust me, the reward is maximum for this. And there is another part to this which we'll cover in the different session. In GS4 last year they asked a question: Do not hate anybody, and that entire code given by Swami Vivekanand, because the hate will come back to you. But if you love the people, then love will come back to you. Swami Vivekanand. GS4. Those who have not appeared in means. Are simple question: love and hate. Every day we do it. Every day we do it. Right? Love and hate. Hindu, Muslim, gender wars, love and hate. But no, it's different. It's a quotation given by Swami Vivekananda. And in the 10 mark, you have to write what do you understand by this quotation and why he was saying that do not hate anybody and from where this hate is coming. And in the ethics, someone might say "Okay, only ethical terms I will write, only about the ethics I have to write." From where this hate is coming? Individual, society, nation, global. Are you getting it? USA society, racist society, white and black, from where that hate was coming within the society. And then individual adopted it. Individual adopted it. And politicians adopted it. Are you getting it? You have to open the brain and dimensions. From where this hate is coming. Another thing is economy. Inequality, economic inequality leads to maximum hatred. Maximum hatred is coming from that part. Someone is poor, someone is rich. Poor hate rich hates poor. वो होता है ना कि तुम्हारा फ्रेंड है, you got rank 120 and you were just happy and then you saw the name of your friend rank है ना, वो like बर्बाद हो गया लाइफ. Jealousy. From where this hate is coming? Jealousy. From where this jealousy is coming? This and this and this. And why hating is bad? Why hating is bad? Because if you start hating someone, one or two individual is fine. But if you start hating a large group, then eventually your personality transform in a negative manner and you will never be happy in your life. Are you getting it? So this hate and love thing, सुनने में simple है. But once you start writing, it becomes very difficult. And from where to collect examples? In the end, everyone will write about Mahatma Gandhi. In the end, everyone will quote Mahatma Gandhi. That will become a challenge. So synopsis method will help that on a simple terms, you can write some things. Another question was being asked, is conscience a more reliable guide when compared to laws, rules and regulation? Conscience. मन की बात. In the context of मन की बात नहीं है, ठीक है? It's different. In the context of ethical decision making, question mark, discuss. How many of you can write a good definition of conscience? I doubt, as of now, today, anyone can write a good definition. I doubt. I really doubt. Because we just came out from the films and notes are not there. But if in your notes, those small notes, these terms definitions are there, it will become very easy for you to recall. This recalling power. Why someone struggle to complete the paper? वो पेन चेंज करता रहता है. पेन चेंज नहीं करना, दिमाग चेंज करना. Because you are thinking too much. You are spending too much time on thinking. Conscience. Is conscience a more reliable guide than laws, rules, and regulations? Question mark. For ethical decision making, discuss. Those who have not appeared in the mains, again they will say, I will write the best answer for this question. But this is not how things work in the mains. Then you will struggle. What is this ethical decision making? What is the framework for that? And nothing is coming to your mind. And in the end, you will quote a story of Gandhi. Dandi March, Lekha Prabhu. This is how people get poor marks. In GS3, they asked a question. Artificial intelligence definition. What is it? How many of you can write definition of artificial intelligence today? Tomorrow, you will write. After 10 days, you will. Today. Part A of the question was artificial intelligence definition. How and how does AI help in clinical diagnosis? Is it a threat to privacy? Artificial intelligence, every day you are reading, seeing, using, feeling, but struggle to write. Why? Because we have not practiced this. So that is why synopsis will help. Once you have that small synopsis that how artificial intelligence is affecting my decision making power, suppose you got some editorial on that, and once you see that, then you are like, okay, how it is affecting my decision making power because I'm more worried about the reviews than the product specification, right? गूगल रिव्यूज पे हम ज्यादा ट्रस्ट कर लेते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिकेशन. So when you will write about the AI, then you will find that initially you are very critical of it. Every one of us is very critical of it, but we are not supposed to be critical of it because in the mains you are going to show both the sides. Artificial intelligence help भी तो करता है ना. I purchased a particular book. On the basis of that, Amazon recommended me some other books, and because of that, I was able to read some good books. My own limitation might not have allowed me to read more. अब क्लिनिकल डायग्नोसिस की बात है, ठीक है भाई, कैसे करेंगे? हाउ टू डू इट? Point form. Information should be remembered in point form. In clinical diagnosis, number one thing is collection of large data. Second thing is accuracy. Number third is segregation of data, and number fourth is prediction. If you have those points, then you can expand. Only then, I would say, only then you will be able to. Otherwise, it will become very difficult to expand. And then, is it a threat to privacy? So yes, it is a threat to privacy. Then we'll put some things. Right? Got it? Then, last thing is, although mains is a different game, although in the mains you are supposed to write so many things, but when it comes to writing, there are two things in writing. Number one is quality, number two is quantity. In the beginning phase, June and July, more focus should be given on quality. More and more and more focus should be given on quality because 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 looks easy to all of us. But in the class first, it was not easy. It was very difficult. Some of the time we used to say 2 plus 2 is equals to 5 or 3 or 2 or 0. And we used to run away. Don't ask such difficult questions to us. In the beginning, things becomes difficult, but if you can devote some good time and provide the quality to that, quantity will come. Quantity will eventually come. From the initial time, in the beginning itself, don't have this mindset of writing one question in 7 minutes or 11 minutes. Those, I would say, those who have not done any answer writing, you can learn. Under the sun, anything can be learned. Anything. Nothing is rocket science. Nothing. If you are willing to devote time and energy to a particular. So initially quality, then quantity. Quality के लिए ही synopsis करो. Quality के लिए ही everyday answer writing helps more than doing full length test from tomorrow. Till now, if anyone has any doubts, I'm allowing you to ask your doubts. Then only one or two things I will say, and then we'll wrap up the session. Anyone, any doubt till now?
सर
Yes.
सर
And
आप
one particular thing is this session is only for mains 2024. Those who are having any doubt with the prelims or 2025, I'll deal in the another session. Okay. Yes, please ask.
सर ये 2 महीने के लिए मतलब एक ब्रॉड सब्जेक्ट वाइज प्लान कैसे रखना चाहिए
देखो,
शेड्यूल?
ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है कि आपने पहले मेंस दिया है कि नहीं. आपने दिया है पहले मेंस?
हाँ
ठीक है, आपने पहले मेंस दिया हुआ है तो आपके लिए इट इज इजियर टू कवर थिंग्स इन लेस टाइम, राइट? Others might struggle to cover things because they are going to write for the mains for the first time. So in your previous mains, in whichever paper you got less marks, let us say GS2 or GS3, so you pick that paper and allot more time to that. You allot more time to that, so you might allot 10 or 12 days for that initially. 12, 13, 14, whatever is there. After that, speed will come. Trust me on this. The first paper you will pick, it will take longer time. Although I have said that GS4 1 week is sufficient, but it might take 9 days or 10 days. पैनिक नहीं करना है. एकदम से ये नहीं करना है हम तो फेल हो गए, हम तो फेल हो गए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं करना. स्पीड विल कम। सो 2 महीने का ब्रॉड ये रहेगा कि जुलाई एंड तक, चूंकि आप पहले मीन्स दे चुके हैं, आप अपना सिलेबस का कवरेज टाइमली कर लें, और जुलाई में ही प्रैक्टिस भी करना, जो क्वालिटी वाला पार्ट है। देन इन द अगस्त मंथ आप नोट्स को स्मॉल वर्जन में कन्वर्ट करना चालू करें, एंड वहां पे सिटिंग आवर्स अपना राइटिंग ऑफ द टेस्ट का बढ़ाते रहें। दैट वे इट विल है। ऑप्शनल में अगर चैलेंज है, ऑप्शनल को देखो, हाउ टू कवर द ऑप्शनल फॉर द मेंस, those who have appeared earlier and scored any marks. I'll share one document. You please follow that and it will help. Okay. तो 2 महीने नेक्स्ट जो है, और 2 महीने हम नहीं बोले तो बेटर है, बिकॉज स्टिल 10 days वी हैव। 10 days में एनी वन पेपर यू कैन कवर, राइट? सो दैट वे इट विल हेल्प यू। और मंडे टू फ्राइडे प्लान करें। सैटरडे को थोड़ा सा लंबा बैठे हैं, सैटरडे को लॉन्ग ड्यूरेशन टेस्ट के लिए रखें आप।
सर मतलब जैसे अगर जुलाई तक मुझे एक बार खत्म करना है,
हाँ,
तो मतलब मेरे को वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि इतने इतने कम में, जैसे मैं ये सोच रहा था कि जैसे 20 अगस्त तक मैं एक बार कर पाऊँ।
आप जो भी डेडलाइन लेके चलोगे उसमें आप 20 days ऐड कर देना। आप अगर 20 अगस्त की डेडलाइन लेके चलोगे, देन यू विल बी एबल टू फिनिश द थिंग्स व्हिच यू आर प्लानिंग एज ऑफ नाउ टुडे बाय 10th of September। दैट्स ए ह्यूमन थिंग, वी एक्सटेंड द डेडलाइंस। आप जब जुलाई की डेडलाइन लेके चलोगे तो वो अगस्त में खींचेगा वो, कुछ चीजें मिसिंग रहेंगी कुछ। देखो, एक ना स्पेस होना चाहिए हमेशा ना। अंत में हम क्यों ये कहते हैं कि यार 5 दिन और दो, 6 दिन और दो, इसलिए कहते हैं ना कि कुछ ये छूट ही गई यार, ये तो इस बार तो ये छूट ही गई। तो उसके लिए स्पेस चाहिए। तो एक बार आपको ना डेडिकेट अपने आप को करना पड़ेगा कि भाई 31st of July आई फिनिश द एंटायर सिलेबस, कम व्हाट मे, एंड देन आई फाइंड द मिसिंग लिंक्स, मिसिंग टॉपिक्स, मिसिंग थिंग्स which you can do. But if you set a deadline of 20th of August, and if you will not be able to finish things by, let us say, by 10th of September, फिर वो चीज छूट ही जाएंगी। और चूंकि आप मीन्स देके बैठे हैं, आपको पता है कि हम शुरू में जो प्लान करते हैं उसमें से कितनी ही चीजें होती हैं। तो कोशिश बस यही रहे कि कम चीजें छूट, ज्यादा नहीं छूट।
ओके।
राइट। नेक्स्ट।
नमस्ते सर।
या नमस्ते।
सर मेरा फर्स्ट मेंस होगा,
हाँ,
तो लाइक सर मुझे लाइक ओवरऑल लाइक 5 से 7 किन बातों का मतलब सबसे ज्यादा ध्यान रखना चाहिए, जिससे कि मैं
सभी से पहली
ऑन
चीज,
द
सभी से
जाऊँ।
पहली चीज, ऑप्शनल। ऑप्शनल आपका सबसे ज्यादा टाइम लेगा अगर पहले से अच्छे से नहीं किया है तो। ऑप्शनल को प्रायोरिटी पे लेके चलना शुरुआत से। अभी का जो समय है, देखो, आपको ना थोड़ा सा अर्जेंसी में जीना पड़ेगा, डेडलाइंस डिले नहीं करनी कि हम कर लेंगे कर लेंगे कर लेंगे, ये वाला काम नहीं करना है। ऑप्शनल को टॉप प्रायोरिटी पे लेके चलो। सेकंड चीज, मेंस के कोर जो टॉपिक है, एथिक्स, आईआर, गवर्नेंस, सोसाइटी, एग्रीकल्चर, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, इट्स नॉट इकोनॉमी, इट्स इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, कोर टॉपिक्स को पहले करो। क्योंकि यहाँ पे चीजों को समझने में समय जाएगा, यहाँ पे चीजों को अंडरस्टैंड करने में टाइम जाएगा। बहुत ज्यादा पैनिक मोड में जाना नहीं। एवरी टाइम यू कैनॉट पैनिक, एवरी डे यू कैनॉट पैनिक। तो ये ना फर्स्ट मीन्स में सभी से बड़ा जो चैलेंज है वो पैनिक का रहता है कि कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा, है ना। और इस वजह से क्या है कि हम वो एक गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी को देते हैं। तो इसको आप कुछ डिवाइड कैसे करना है कि ऑप्शन, देखो, जहां भी जब पहला मीन्स है तो हेल्प ले लेना। मैं तो यही सलाह देता हूँ कि इफ यू नीड हेल्प, यू आस्क फॉर द हेल्प, यू टेक द हेल्प। अपने आप से एक्सपेरिमेंट करने पे कब पहला मीन्स दूसरा या तीसरा मीन्स बन जाता है, समझ में नहीं आता है। तो ऑप्शनल में अगर हमने ज्यादा कुछ नहीं किया, यू टेक द प्रोफेशनल हेल्प। जीएस में हमने कुछ
ओके
ज्यादा
ओके।
नहीं किया है तो यू टेक द हेल्प। इस समय पे टाइम बचाना है, अटेम्प्ट बचाना है, पैसा नहीं बचाना। ठीक है, एक साल की कीमत ना बहुत ज्यादा, वो दिखने में अभी के टाइम पे 25-30 हजार, 40-1 हजार रुपए लगा करते हैं, बट दैट एंटायर अटेम्प्ट, इफ यू काउंट, दैट इज बिगर देन दैट। तो ऑप्शनल का आप ये करें। ऑप्शनल में एक गलत सलाह जो मिलती है ह्यूमैनिटीज में कि पेपर टू इज इजी, पेपर टू इज नॉट इजी, पेपर टू इज नॉट इजी, पेपर टू इज नॉट करंट अफेयर्स, पेपर टू की अपनी थ्योरीज है, पेपर टू के अपने फंड है।
मेरी ऑप्शनल सोशियोलॉजी है।
सोशोलॉजी है ना, तो
मेरी
उसमें भी ना
ऑप्शनल।
आप, हाँ, तो ना उसमें आपको शायद है ना ये गलत सलाह मिल जाए कि पेपर टू तो करंट अफेयर है, और ये फर्स्ट मेंस में यही होता है। अरे पेपर टू तो मैंने पढ़ा था ही नहीं, कोई टॉपर ऐसा मिल जाएगा नहीं वाला, ठीक, अब देखेंगे, मत करना। दोनों के दोनों पेपर पढ़ने हैं। पेपर वन में थिंकर रहेंगे, और पेपर वन में ह्यूमैनिटीज में सभी में थिंकर्स हैं, थिंकर परेशान करते हैं शुरू में। तो इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि किसी से हेल्प लोगे तो टाइमली समझ में आ जाएगा थिंकर्स को कवर कैसे करते हैं। आपका सभी से बड़ा जो चैलेंज रहेगा वो है सिलेबस कंप्लीशन ऑफ ऑप्शनल इन ए टाइमली मैनर। फिर आप डायरेक्टली किसी कोचिंग का टेस्ट देने से बेटर तरीका मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, पीवाई यूज कर लेना। पेपर वन में तो 70-80% क्वेश्चन ही पीवाई क्यू। अब मान लेते हैं आप ना कोई भी टॉपिक पढ़ रहे हो, जैसे मेरा फिलोसफी था, तो फिलोसफी में बुद्धा पे पीवाईक्यू में क्वेश्चन थे 25। एक्चुअल में वो 25 थे ही नहीं, क्वेश्चन क्वेश्चन 5 या 6 ही थे। वो थीम पे पूछेगा, वो बस थीम तैयार करना
ओके।
है। वह एग्जामिनर एग्जामिनर जो है ना वो थीम पे ही पूछेगा वो, है ना। पेपर टू के भी अपने फंडे हैं, वो करंट अफेयर नहीं है, उसको भी किसी से समझ के तैयार करना, तब आप उसको कंप्लीट कर देंगे। जीएस में क्या चैलेंज आएगा? जीएस में जो चैलेंज आएगा वो ये आएगा, कैसे मैनेज करें ऑप्शनल के साथ। दो तरीके हैं, एक है कि मंडे टू फ्राइडे प्लान करो, मॉर्निंग में ऑप्शन कर लो, शाम को जीएस कर लो। हर हर किसी को शायद ये सूट नहीं करता। तो आप ये कर सकते हो, 3 से 4 दिन ऑप्शनल का एक लार्ज चंक आपने पकड़ लिया, बड़ा एक टॉपिक पकड़ लिया, उसको खत्म किया, फिर आपने जीएस का भी एक बड़ा टॉपिक पकड़ के फिर 3 से 4 दिन में किया। सो इट डिपेंड्स। पर मैं ये कहूंगा ना कि इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग मोर, डू बेटर। इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग बिग नोट्स एंड दिस, यू फोकस मोर ऑन द नंबर ऑफ एक्टिविटीज जो हम ऐड करें। आपको ना नोट्स नहीं बढ़ाना है, एक्टिविटीज बढ़ानी है। एक्टिविटी बढ़ाने का मतलब ये है कि अगर मैंने जीएस वन पढ़ रहा हूँ, मैंने हिस्ट्री पढ़ा, अभी चूंकि मैं प्रीलिम्स में पढ़ के आया हूँ, गांधी पे पीवाईक्यू में क्या क्या पूछा है जरा मैं चेक तो कर लूँ। ज्योग्राफी में ओशनिक करंट अभी मैंने प्रीलिम्स में पढ़ा है, उस ओशनिक करंट पे वो क्वेश्चन कैसा पूछा है मेंस में। हम क्या करते हैं ना, हम सिर्फ पढ़ते रहते हैं, और ये पहले मेंस में होता है, हम सिर्फ पढ़ते रहते हैं, सिलेबस ही कंप्लीट। तो ये गलती करनी है। तो पीवाईक्यूज और सिलेबस को माइंड में लेके आप सिलेबस कंप्लीशन में फोकस करें, देन आप कोशिश करना कि आंसर राइटिंग जो है एवरीडे वाली जो है ना उससे शुरू करना। आप डायरेक्टली फुल लेंथ के चक्कर में पढ़ना मत, आपको फायदा करेगा नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं करेगा। 7 दिन में एक फुल लेंथ दोगे, उसकी कॉपी 7 दिन में चेक होके आएगी, उसका तब तक दिमाग से निकल जाएगा मैंने लिखा गया था। एंड जनरली हम सिर्फ मार्क्स के पीछे पागल रहते हैं कि यार क्या नंबर मिल गए। गलती से किसी टेस्ट में 110 मिल गए तो अपने आप को रैंक वन मानना चालू कर देते हैं, जबकि यूपीएससी में शायद नहीं आए हैं। और अगर अगर 70 मिल गए तो हम फेल मानना चालू कर देते हैं, पर ऐसा नहीं है। एवरीडे में क्या है कि टाइमली आपकी कॉपी चेक होती है, टाइमली हमें पता रहता है कि कहाँ पे क्या इम्प्रूव करना है। तो दैट वे यू हैव टू डू। ऐसे लिख के चलना, पहला मेंस पहला ऐसे यूपीएससी हॉल में मत लिख, ठीक है,
जी
ये
मैंने पहले
बहुत
लिख
लोग
दिया।
करते हैं। हाँ, तो ये वाली चीजें कुछ हैं पॉइंटर जो मैं आपको,
ज्यादा नहीं लिखा है, दो ही लिखा है, लेकिन
हाँ
पहले लिखा
बढ़िया,
है।
बढ़िया बढ़िया। फिर आप इसको ऐसे करें, बस इस पे आप फोकस करिए। राइट।
ओके, थैंक यू
ओके,
वेरी मच।
वेलकम। नेक्स्ट।
सर आई वांटेड टू आस्क,
हाँ।
एक्चुअली मतलब पहले मैंने इतने नोट्स के पॉइंटर नहीं बनाए थे, तो
हम्म
लाइक राइट नाउ शुड आई फोकस ऑन जो भी अपने मेंस के कोर टॉपिक्स है, तो उसके लाइक वन पेजर मतलब रेडी नहीं है, सो लाइक वो जो आप बोल रहे हो कि सिलेबस
आप है ना
कवरेज।
देखो प्रोसेस, देखो आप है ना इसको ये मत करना कि आज से हम बैठ के पॉइंटर से निकालने लगते हैं, विद द प्रोसेस वो आ जाएगा।
यस सर,
जब आप
ओके।
जब आप ओशनिक करंट पढ़ेंगे तो ओशनिक करंट में क्या क्या चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट दिमाग में आनी चाहिए। नंबर वन चीज ये आनी चाहिए कि इंपॉर्टेंट करंट कौन से हैं। नंबर सेकंड चीज, क्या मेरी कैपेबिलिटी है वो मैप को ड्रॉ करने की? भाई मेरी तो नहीं है, तो मैं क्यों ही मेहनत करूं, ड्रॉप इट। ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल वाला शायद कर लेगा, लेकिन अगर मेरी कैपेबिलिटी है टू ड्रॉ दैट मैप देन आई विल ड्रॉ दैट। ठीक है। थर्ड चीज कि ओशनिक करंट को इन्फ्लुएंस क्या क्या फैक्टर करते हैं। चौथा चीज हमेशा दिमाग में लेके चलना है कि इंडिया का क्या पोजीशन। राइट। अब ये 4 पॉइंट दिमाग में आ गए, एक्सपेंड कर लो।
ओके
ज्योग्राफी में
सर।
है ना, फिर एक और मान लो कि टॉपिक आता है मॉनसून। मॉनसून पे वो मेंस में क्वेश्चन पूछेगा कि हाउ मॉनसून अफेक्ट द इंडियन लाइफ इन इकोनॉमी एग्रीकल्चर, ऐसे वैसे कुछ कुछ पूछेगा। अब मॉनसून का मैकेनिज्म क्या है, कौन सा विंड है, कौन सा क्या है, तो वो टेक्निकल टर्म्स माइंड में बिल्कुल क्लियर है। अब पॉलिटी में वो क्वेश्चन पूछेगा कि गवर्नर का रोल, गवर्नर, रिसेंटली इट हैज बीन सीन दैट रोल ऑफ द गवर्नर वाज इन क्वेश्चन बिकॉज गवर्नर जो है ना स्टेट के सीएम को काम ही नहीं करने दे रहे। गवर्नर अपने आप में गवर्नमेंट की तरह बिहेव कर रहे हैं। राइट। तो अब गवर्नर पे क्या क्या पॉइंट दिमाग में आना चाहिए, गवर्नर पे पहली चीज माइंड में आनी चाहिए आर्टिकल कौन सा, सबसे पहला। दूसरी चीज माइंड में आनी चाहिए कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कोई जजमेंट दिया है तो वो क्या दिया है, उसका नाम क्या है। तीसरी चीज कमिटीज क्या बोलती है, ऊंची कमीशन है, सेकंड एआरसी है, सरकार क्या है, वो क्या बोल रहे थे, या फिर नया कुछ कमेटी है तो उसने क्या बोला। चौथी चीज कोई एक्सपर्ट कुछ बोल रहा है कि नहीं। जितना ज्यादा आप ऑब्जेक्टिव पॉइंट तैयार करोगे ना उतना बेटर है। हम लोग करते क्या ना, हमारे मन से लिखना चालू कर देते हैं। तो कोई वेस्ट बंगाल का बंदा है तो वो सब्जेक्टिविटी लाएगा कि गवर्नर ढंग के काम कर ही नहीं रहे, है ना। अब कोई तमिलनाडु का है वो भी ले आएगा कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये दे आर नॉट डूइंग अ गुड जॉब, बट दे आर नॉट आस्किंग योर ओपिनियन। एंड वी आर नॉट सपोज टू बिकम ए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एक्सपर्ट। तो ऑब्जेक्टिविटी कैसे आती है ना, यू पिक द कमिटीज, यू पिक द एडिटोरियल्स, एंड वहां से आती है, देन वो पॉइंट्स निकल आते हैं। बट अनलेस वी हैव द पॉइंट देन वी राइट अ जेनेरिक आंसर, और दोज हु हैव अपीयर्ड इन मेंस अर्लियर स्कोरिंग 340 350 marks despite adding more content, writing more text, this and this. One thing is there, that in the simple questions, the questions which looks easy, if you are writing generic content, never expect 400 plus marks, because these are the questions which are cream and butter, which are literally cream and butter. And in such question, you have good content, and I would say excess content. And to summarize that excess content in 2 pages becomes a challenge. And then you end up writing a generic answer in the question where you have the content. Nuclear energy policies of government of India, ईवी पे अभी चल रहा है। एग्रीकल्चर एमएसपी, एमएसपी पे जिसने एक मीन्स पहले दे रखा है, किसने नहीं पढ़ा है यार एमएसपी। जिसने 2 मेंस दिए हैं तो वो शायद किसानों के साथ में बैठ के बता दे कि एमएसपी क्या है, कैसे इस इशू को हम भाई बैठ के सॉल्व कर लें। इतना कंटेंट है ना एमएसपी पे, एंड यूपीएससी will ask a direct question on that, and then you are writing the generic answer, and then you are getting 3 marks. And the candidate who is having very less content, even a candidate does not know what is C2 A2 FL, god knows, he is getting 5. Limited content to the point. That's the game. Out of seven such easy question, if you are writing 5 generic answers per question, if you are losing 2 to 3 marks, 40-50 नंबर चला गया यार, कहाँ से आएगा 4 में। मोर ऑब्जेक्ट। ओके।
यस सर। सो इन शॉर्ट लाइक मतलब हमको बस ऐसे फ्रेमवर्क्स पॉइंटर के रेडी रखना है सिलेबस के, सो
हाँ,
लाइक एंड मिनट में वी कैन जस्ट एक्सटेंड और अप्लाई इट।
एक्सटेंड एंड अप्लाई, बिकॉज यू विल कंज्यूम कंटेंट नाउ, राइट।
काला मत।
तो कंटेंट तो हम कंज्यूम करेंगे, बस उसमें ये है कि दिमाग में फ्रेमवर्क तैयार रहे। जब वो जेंडर पे पूछेगा तो जेंडर पे क्या क्या चीजें हैं वो तैयार रहे। एल्डरलीज पे पूछेगा क्या क्या चैलेंजेस है, तैयार। होता क्या है ना कि इन द नेम ऑफ राइटिंग मल्टी डायमेंशनल आंसर, we start doing beating around the bush, and that is why we lose marks. जितना स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट्स माइंड में रहेगा उतना हम लिखाएंगे, वो बेटर रहेगा। गॉट
यस सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
ओके, वेलकम। नेक्स्ट।
हेलो सर, एक स्वागत है।
या हेलो।
हेलो सर।
यस प्लीज आप। अभिषेक प्लीज आस्क। जावेद।
यस सर, यस सर।
या
हाँ सर, मेरा डाउट ना ऑप्शनल को लेके है सर। मेरा
हाँ
पॉलिटिकल साइंस ऑप्शनल है।
हाँ।
तो उसमें एक पहला डाउट तो सर मेरा ये है कि अभी क्या ना, मैंने एक कोचिंग के नोट्स लिए थे, काफी बल्कि नोट्स हैं वो। तो मैं उनसे पढ़ के अपने नोट्स बना रहा था।
हम्म
तो सर अभी क्या है कि एक टॉपर है, उन्होंने अपने नोट्स अपलोड किए हैं। तो जो
हम्म।
नोट्स मैं बना रहा हूँ मतलब 90% दीज आर सेम। तो सर मैं ये पूछ रहा था कि अगर मैं डायरेक्ट जो टॉपर्स ने अपने नोट्स अपलोड किए हैं वो याद कर लूँ, या फिर सर पूरा मतलब जो कोचिंग से प्रोवाइड हुए हैं सर वो एंटायर मतलब
The
उसकी रीडिंग
best, the
अंडरस्टैंडिंग
best
बन जाए।
person to answer this question is Abhijit. Abhijit, are you there?
Yes, sir.
TSIR का बता दो यार डाउट।
Yeah, Javed, please, can you ask again?
हाँ सर बिल्कुल। सर मैंने उनके पीयूष चौबे सर के नोट्स लिए थे पॉलिटिकल
Hmm,
साइंस। हालांकि
hmm,
काफी बल्कि हैं, मतलब बहुत अच्छे नोट्स हैं बट बल्कि हैं थोड़े। तो मैं उन्हें पढ़ के अपने
hmm,
नोट्स बना रहा हूँ सर, काफी मतलब कंप्रेस
hmm,
करके उन्हें। तो अभी
hmm,
क्या है ना सर, एक टॉपर है, उन्होंने अपने नोट्स अपलोड किए हैं। तो जो मैं
hmm,
नोट्स बना रहा हूँ और जो टॉपर ने अपलोड किए हैं वो 90% मतलब सेम ही आ रहा है उसमें कंटेंट।
hmm,
तो मैं ये पूछ रहा था
hmm,
कि अभी मतलब जो उन्होंने टॉपर ने अपलोड किए नोट्स वो डायरेक्ट मैं रिमेम्बर कर लूँ उन्हें, तो उससे आंसर
hmm.
राइटिंग में काम चल जाएगा, या फिर सर पूरे मतलब जो पीयूष चौबे सर के नोट्स हैं वो एंटायरली मतलब उनसे पढूं तो फिर अंडरस्टैंडिंग बनेगी, उसके बाद नोट्स मेकिंग वो बाद
So,
में आती है।
okay. The first thing is, Javed, tell me how much time you are giving for making the notes. Like, बहुत टाइम लग रहा है क्या नोट्स बनाने में?
ये सर बहुत टाइम तो लग रहा है
Like
सर,
for an
6 month।
example, Western thinkers, we have 10. Okay.
यस
Per day, you should be reading at least three. Okay.
यस
Like Plato, Aristotle, and Machiavelli. If
यस
you can make notes along with reading them in 2 days, ओके, एक बार रीड किया और दूसरे दिन आपने नोट्स बनाया, इफ यू आर गिविंग दैट मच टाइम देन यू शुड बी गोइंग विथ नोट्स मेकिंग बाय सेल्फ, बिकॉज जो भी टॉपर्स ने बनाए होंगे ना नोट्स, ही वुड हैव रेड लॉट्स ऑफ स्टफ, देन उन्होंने वो शॉर्ट बनाए होंगे। बट until and unless you are not reading the whole syllabus properly, line to line, word to word, the flow will not be there in your answers. You will just remember the points, but there will not be any evolution. For an example, अगर क्वेश्चन आता है कम्युनिज्म पे, तो you should be knowing कि कम्युनिज्म starts with प्लेटोज कम्युनिज्म। ठीक है, तो ये इवोल्यूशन नहीं आएगा until and unless आप रीड नहीं करते। तो एक काम कर सकते हो, you can refer the short notes, you can remember, recall the short notes of that topper, but read प्रॉपर नोट्स। जो भी बल्कि वाले नोट्स है या फिर मैम के नोट्स है, चौबे सर के नोट्स है, कोई भी नोट्स आप फॉलो कर रहे हो, तो उनको एक बार प्रॉपरली रीड करो। अगर नोट्स मेकिंग में टाइम जा रहा है तो लीव दैट अपार्ट, जस्ट आप टॉपर्स के नोट्स फॉलो कर सकते हो, उसको रिवाइज कर सकते हो।
ओके सर, आई अंडरस्टूड सर। एक और डाउट है इसी को लेकर।
हम्म
सर हालांकि मैं इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे हूँ बट फिर भी मैंने मतलब आंसर राइटिंग थोड़ी बहुत जितना पढ़ा था तो वो उसकी आंसर राइटिंग की थी मैंने। तो
हम्म
अभी उसमें ये कहते हैं सर कि जैसे जीएस के आंसर्स होते हैं वो तो मतलब जेनेरिक आंसर्स चल
हम्म
जाते हैं, बट ऑप्शनल के होते हैं वो एक
हम्म
अलग मतलब उसमें
हम्म
डेप्थ और वो चाहिए होती है। तो मैं जो
हम्म
टॉपर्स के आंसर देख रहा था और जो मैं भी लिख पा रहा हूँ सर, मतलब वो मतलब डिफरेंस क्या होगा जीएस और उसमें वो समझ नहीं आ पा रहा है। मतलब जो लास्ट ईयर के हाईएस्ट स्कोरर हैं उनकी भी मैं आंसर शीट देख रहा हूँ। तो नॉर्मल वही है सर, जो कंटेंट है अपना वही रिप्रेजेंट किया हुआ है उन्होंने। हालांकि
हम्म
एक दो कीवर्ड्स हैं उसमें, बट फिर भी मतलब वो क्योंकि सर मैं इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड से आता हूँ तो अभी ह्यूमैनिटीज का इतना आइडिया भी नहीं है। बट वो जो
हम्म।
डिफरेंस की बात यस और इसमें ऑप्शनल में वो सर उसके बारे में अगर कुछ बता पाए।
एक चीज मैं आपको बताता हूँ जावेद,
यस
ईच जीएस पेपर एंड ऑप्शनल पेपर हैज देयर ओन लैंग्वेज। जीएस 1 की लैंग्वेज जीएस 2 में नहीं होगी, जीएस 2 की जीएस 3 में नहीं होगी, जीएस 3 की जीएस 4 में नहीं होगी। ओके, to differentiate the language, you just know about the keywords. GS4 के keywords अलग होंगे, GS1 के सोसाइटी के keywords अलग होंगे, GS2 के सोसाइटी के keywords अलग होंगे। You have to, while writing the answer for society in GS2, you should be more focused on political, legislative, and governance aspects. Okay, while writing the society answers of GS1, you must focus on historical, societal, geographical, and other aspects of GS1. ठीक है, and don't have that thought, do not have that thought in your mind कि we should write GS answers in more generic way and we should write political like optional answers in more specific way. No, that line has been withered away. वो लाइन इतनी ब्लर हो चुकी है ना. मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि जीएस के भी आंसर्स बहुत स्पेसिफिक लाइक ऑप्शनल जैसे ही होनी चाहिए. यू शुड बी हैविंग दैट एक्स फैक्टर इन योर आंसर टू स्कोर मोर. तो जितना भी अच्छा यूनिकनेस ला सकते हो, कुछ पॉइंट्स ला सकते हो, तो वो कोशिश करना जरूर.
जावेद क्या होता है ना कि टेक्निकल टर्म्स रहती हैं। आप इंजीनियर हो, ठीक है। इंजीनियरिंग में आपने कौन सी ब्रांच से करा है?
इलेक्ट्रिकल सर।
इलेक्ट्रिकल से करा है, ठीक है। बल्ब कैसे जला करता है, अगर मैंने ये पूछा तो ये लेमैन की भाषा में ही आप मुझे बताओगे। अगर आप टेक्निकलिटीज में चले गए तो मुझको समझ में आने वाला नहीं है। लेकिन जब आप किसी कंपनी में जा रहे हो जो इलेक्ट्रिकल वाली है, तो वहां तो यू हैव टू प्ले विद द टेक्निकलिटीज, राइट। बस दिस इज द सिंपल डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑप्शनल एंड जीएस, कि जीएस में आप थोड़ा लेमैन में आ सकते हो, ऑप्शनल मोर टेक्निकल, क्योंकि ऑप्शनल का पेपर चेक करने वाला जो बंदा है वो आपका ऑप्शनल का प्रोफेसर रहेगा वो। तो टेक्निकल टर्म्स कहाँ से मिलेंगी? सिलेबस से मिलेंगी और पीवाईक्यू से समझ में आ जाएगा, और नोट्स में भी मिलेंगी। तो उसको whenever you are going to write, देखो ये आपने ना एक बहुत अच्छा डाउट पूछा कि टॉपर के आंसर देख के मुझे क्यों नहीं लग रहा है कि कुछ ज्यादा डिफरेंस है, मेरे भी तो वैसे ही है। वो कभी नहीं लगेगा अनलेस यू डिग डीपर, कि द वे दे राइट, द वे दे रिप्रेजेंट। हम लोग क्या ना सिर्फ कंटेंट चेक कर लेते हैं कि यार इसने भी तो वही सब पॉइंट लिखे हैं जो मैंने लिखे, ये क्यों रैंक वन है और मेरा क्यों मेंस नहीं हुआ। The way they write, that creates the difference, and that makes the difference, right?
यस सर, अंडरस्टूड वेरी वेल सर, थैंक यू
हाँ,
सर।
okay, welcome. Next, last doubt for the session. No doubts? Okay. In the mains, when you are going to move for the mains, there is one thing that you have to try, that phase should not come. That is called exhaustion. And once you reach to that phase, 15 days minimum. So now we have 90 days. Now we have 90 days, 15 days minus 75 days. And once you lose 15 days, then in the depression of that, you will lose another 10 days. 25 is gone. Never ever reach to the level of exhaustion. Never. You have to try very hard that I should not reach to that level. That is why I said taking a break every week helps. Second thing is creating mental space is very important. Once you start practicing this synopsis thing or anything, it will help you to create some gaps, because entire day you cannot prepare, study, write, analyze this and that. This some space is required, and that space will come from this side. Third thing is, last thing is, every day devote some time, evening, in the night, anytime, where you are not studying and you are not worrying much about it, right? And one practice which you should do is reflect. Reflect on the things, what promises you have made to yourself, and how much you are fulfilling that thing. Today everyone will make a promise, sir, I'll study 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, but I just ended after 20 days, 25 days. Are you able to do it? So that kind of promises, to keep such promise, you need some energy in you, so that you have to save, right? And that's all from my side. From tomorrow, start your preparation. And if anyone has any doubts regarding SOMP courses, you can drop a message on SOMP inquiry. We'll cover all those doubts. Okay.
सर
All the best. Yes.
सर एक डाउट पूछना था सर।
हाँ,
जैसे
पूछो।
मेरा सर रूटीन को लेकर डाउट है सर।
हाँ,
सर जैसे मेरा क्या है, मैं अर्ली मॉर्निंग पर्सन हूँ, तो मैं हमेशा
बहुत ही बढ़िया।
5 बजे उठ जाता हूँ। 5 बजे उठ के अप्रोक्सीमेटली 2.5 से 3 किलोमीटर दौड़ता हूँ, और फिर
हाँ
दौड़ के आके एक्सरसाइज, फिर दौड़ने के बाद एक्सरसाइज करता हूँ नहा के। ये सारा काम करने में मुझे लगभग 1 घंटा 50 मिनट से 2 घंटे लग जाते हैं सुबह में। तो 5 से 7 बजे मैं ऑन टेबल होता हूँ। तो बिफोर प्रीलिम्स, इवन ऑन प्रीलिम्स डे मैंने रन किया है। लाइक
गुड।
उस दिन भी मैं गया, मैं 2 किलोमीटर नहीं, उस दिन मैंने 1 किलोमीटर ही दौड़ा, क्योंकि शरीर एग्जॉस्ट ना हो जाए ये सोच के। तो अभी मुझे ये डर लग रहा है लाइक कि मुझे ये कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए। मैं अभी भी कर रहा हूँ, दौड़ने अभी भी जा रहा हूँ, तो लेकिन फीलिंग आ रहा है कि 2 घंटे सुबह के जा रहे हैं इसमें। और बाकी मैंने सारे दिन में लगभग 12 आवर्स का मैं शेड्यूल बनाया है, 10:30 तक का, 10:30 ऑफ टू बेड।
यार देखो, ये जो आप कर रहे हो ना, यही आपकी बॉडी और माइंड को फ्यूल दे रहा है तैयारी के लिए। आप अगर इसको बंद कर दोगे ना, आप एक वीक के लिए ट्राई कर लेना, आप इतना डल फील करोगे कि अब तो मेरे पास पूरा दिन है। बट डलनेस इतनी ज्यादा है कि जिसकी कोई हद नहीं है। तो आप क्या कर सकते हो, रनिंग 2.5 किलोमीटर की जगह पे इफ यू फील, देखो एक ना लिमिट सेट कर ली कि इतने तक मेरा बॉडी और माइंड ना उस फ्रेम में आ जाता है जो एक एनर्जी चाहिए। तो उस
यस,
लेवल तक रहो, बट डू नॉट स्टॉप दिस। दिस इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड एंड यू आर डूइंग ए वेरी गुड थिंग। क्योंकि
जैसे
ये आपका
नवोदय।
माइंड को अलर्ट रखेगा, क्रिएटिव रखेगा, पॉजिटिविटी रखेगा। जो भी टेंशन है, सुबह सुबह सब रनिंग किया चले आ गया, आप यही बंद कर दोगे तो दिक्कत है। पर 2 घंटे की जो आप बात कर रहे हो ना, तो उसको आप टाइम देखो, आपकी कितना टाइम करने से मैं फिट हूं। तो 5 से 7 जो है, इसको अगर आप 6:30 भी कर दोगे तो भी ठीक है। इसको आप टाइम वेस्ट में काउंट नहीं करो। बस ये देखो कि एग्जॉशन इतना तो नहीं है कि 7 बजे जब मैं पढ़ने बैठ रहा हूँ तो मैं पढ़ ही नहीं पा रहा हूँ। दैट फेज शुड नॉट कम।
ओके सर।
ओके।
सर लाइक
ओके।
2.5 को 2.5 कर सकते हैं,
हाँ
टू
हाँ हाँ।
पॉइंट फाइव
एनीथिंग,
किलोमीटर 1.5।
एनीथिंग, एनीथिंग।
और इसको मतलब कि 2 घंटे लग रहे हैं, वहाँ पे 30 मिनट कम करके।
बिल्कुल।
और शाम में मैं मेडिटेशन भी करता हूँ 1 आवर।
हाँ, तो आप वहां से
बहुत
उस टाइम
ज्यादा
को मैनेज
नहीं हो
करो।
रहा।
यार देखो, पढ़ाई ना क्वालिटी 6 ही घंटे की चाहिए। अगर दिमाग साथ है ना, 6 घंटे पढ़ लिया तमीज से तो हो जाता है काम। होता क्या है, हमारा दिमाग साथ में होता नहीं, तो इसलिए वो 6 का 12 घंटे बनाना पड़ता है। जब भी आप एक फ्लो मोड में पढ़ रहे हो, आप कंसंट्रेशन के साथ में पढ़ रहे हो, लेसर टाइम यू विल कवर मोर थिंग्स इन अ बेटर मैनर। लेकिन जब हम एक डिस्टॉर्टेड माइंड के साथ हैं, डिप्रेस्ड माइंड है, स्ट्रेस्ड माइंड है, जब हम चीजों को कवर करने की कोशिश करते हैं, चीजें कवर होती भी नहीं है, राइट, तब टेंशन ज्यादा आता है। तो इसको बैलेंस करो, बंद मत करो। नो, बंद नहीं करना है, इसको बैलेंस करो। ओके।
ओके सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओके गाइस। यस रोहन।
सर टेंटेटिवली हरिकेन बैच कब से स्टार्ट होगी?
नेक्स्ट वीक, नेक्स्ट वीक। ठीक है। ओके। ओके गाइस, बाय बाय।